Hi, so today we're going to be talking about realigning your focus and setting goals when you're in action. So, the reason I thought it would be a good time to talk about this is just to tighten the reins a little bit and regain your focus. So, do you know where you're actually going? So many people that I find kind of drift through the year. They're kind of thinking, I'll start next week, or things will calm down soon. And when they calm down, I'll start again then. Or I'll get back on track after this. I've just got a holiday coming up, or I've got an event coming up this weekend. And after that, I'll get back on track. But before you know it, like a month has passed, the season's gone, and these people they're often in the same place. And I know I've been there before, and maybe some of you guys have felt like that or been there before yourself. Um, but what I want to say is that the people who get the results aren't necessarily the most motivated. They're just the ones who decide, right, we're going to do it. Let's do this. So, one thing I want you to ask yourself is you guys are all like cracking on with your workouts, focus on your food. But one thing I want you guys to ask yourself is, are you currently moving towards something, or are you kind of just hoping things are going to improve? Because if we can get you to get into a goal, it's going to give you a little bit more focus. So, fast forward 12 months, right? Get really present here, really visualize where you want to get to. What would make you proud? What would make you proud when it comes to your health? Like, how do you want to feel? How much energy do you want to have? How do you want to show up? Like, what does that look like for you? Think about your fitness. What do you want your body to be able to do? Is there a certain time you want to do, say, a 5K in? Is there a certain amount of weight you want to be lifting for your squats or for your deadlifts? Like, how strong do you want to be? How do you want that to present in your body? Like, how do you want that to look? Like, your lifestyle. How do you want those habits to feel? Like, when you start thinking about the food that you're going to eat, when you start thinking about your meals, what does that lifestyle look like? How do those habits feel? Do you want it to get to the point where you're quite comfortable and you're quite like it's second nature, just knowing the exact food that you're going to eat and then you wanting to eat them too? And what struggles do you find will have disappeared in your lifestyle from 12 months from now? Like if you could click your fingers 12 months from now, get really present. What struggles do you want to have disappeared? Like maybe you've got a niggling back pain that perhaps now is fixed through having strength and muscles around it. Perhaps you've had some knee pain or something, and again that's fixed through having work around it. Perhaps the struggles of the motivation. Perhaps you're currently relying on motivation, but you're struggling because that kind of comes and goes. When you want that to disappear, you want to be relying on structure and discipline and making it part of your habit. How about your confidence in 12 months' time? How do you want to really feel about yourself when you look in the mirror, when you show up at an event, when how you're like with your friends and family in person? How do you want that confidence to come through? So, what I want you to do throughout this whole workshop, there'll be little elements where um, I need you to take some action. You don't have to do this right now, first time when you're watching it, or you can do it and pause it as you're going through. But definitely do this task. And this task I want you to do is write down 1 year from now, I want to be, and touch on all of those focus points. Sorry, I'm just grabbing water. Um, So a lot of people come to me with a goal in mind of how much weight they want to lose. And that's a difficult one because when you come with a weight in mind of what you want to lose or the weight that you want on the scale, it's not normally the bit that you really want. A lot of the time is it's like the feeling that that's going to give you. And that's the area that we need to be focusing on. So instead of having in your mind like I want to lose 2 stone. You want to have more in your mind of like, I want to feel more confident. I want more energy. I want to feel comfortable in photos, or like I want to stop starting process. Perhaps you want to build consistent habits that are going to take you to get into that to losing weight. Perhaps you just want to feel good in your clothes, you want to feel fitter, you want to feel stronger, you want to feel healthier. Maybe you want to just go into a shop and like pick up any clothes that you want to wear, not necessarily the ones that you think that you should wear. Perhaps you want to be able to keep up with your children. Perhaps you want to be able to run around and be the mum that like climbs on the climbing frame, or is just really present and really active for when they're climbing on you. Or like it's not always the weight that people want. It's normally the package that comes behind it. Because the number is not often, it's not often that the number is the actual goal, it's the feeling. So your 12-month goal, get really, really, really specific and ask yourself by this time next year, how many times a week do you want to be working out, exercising? Um, so really think about this into the future. What do you want your body to look like? Is it you want to lose weight? Is it you want to build muscle? Maybe you want to do both of those. What is it you're aiming for? How do you want it to look? How do you want it to feel? Do you want toned arms? Do you want toned legs? Don't think necessarily about what you think is possible. Think about like what you really, really want, not just what you think is possible. And what habits do you want in 12 months' time to have become your normal? Something that is part and parcel of how you show up every day, every week. What does that look like for you? So again, write down one clear goal. This time next year, say, I'll exercise 3 times per week consistently, feel strong, have more energy, and have lost 2 stone. So you're drawing all those different elements together. You're not just focusing on the weight side of things. And you'll notice like building the habits of working out 3 times a week is building the consistency. So write down one clear goal of where you want to get to. Start with the end in mind. Stephen Covey, I think. I don't know. But this is what I was always taught, and I know that it's such an important thing. Is that work backwards. Like most people just look forward into what's happening, but get to decide where you want to get to and work your way backwards. What's your goal for 12 months? And what do you need to do within those 12 months for you to get there? Break it down, make it easier. So break it down into like a 6-month goal. So if you're halfway into your 12-month vision, into your 12-month goal, what does that look like? For example, like if you're looking to lose 2 stone in a year, perhaps in 6 months, you might have lost 1 stone. Perhaps you'll consistently be training 3, 4 times a week. Maybe you might be consistently adding in a run a week. Maybe you want to be doing 8,000 steps a day and you want to be having consistently eating better. You want to be focusing on your protein. You want to be making sure you're hitting your protein goals. Like, what does that look like for you, your 6-month breakdown? So write that down on a bit of paper as well, what your 6-month milestone looks like. So you've got your 12-month goal, then you've got your 6-month milestone, and then let's do the power of 90 days. 90 days, you can gain so much in 90 days. Like people don't think about it in that way, but you can gain so much in what you can do in 90 days. In 90 days, you can build habits, you can lose your body, you can lose body fat, you can build increase in strength, increase the weights that you're lifting, improve your cardiovascular system. Like you can build confidence in how you show up. Perhaps you've lost the weight and you're feeling more confidence in the clothes that you pick, in how you show up. And it's short enough to stay focused. So sometimes a 90-day goal is a really good one because it kind of tightens the reins a little bit. So you're breaking down your 12 months to your 6 month and then giving it a 90-day goal. And the 90-day gives you that power and that focus to drive. So, what is the most important thing that you can achieve in the next 90 days that's going to move you towards your 6-month goal? So, I would make it quite specific. So, like I've written here, completing 36 workouts. So, what's that? It's about 3 workouts a week. Losing 5 kilos, hitting your protein goal consistently. Set your protein goal. You want to be, say, eating 120 grams of protein per day. You want to be hitting that consistently. You want to be averaging 8,000 steps. Perhaps you want to even be averaging a little bit more because it's a shorter burst. So you want to be pushing a little bit harder. Perhaps you might even want to bump that up to 9,000 steps. And you want to build a consistent routine, having that structure that you can implement and feel good about. So don't choose loads of things. Choose one primary focus of what you want to achieve in the next 90 days that's going to move you forward to your big goal. Because most people focus on outcomes, and outcomes can like often be a little bit delayed. But what you want to do is you want to be focusing on those actions that are going to help you drive you towards the outcome. So you can't you can't directly change what the scales say. You can't change what your body fat says. You can't necessarily change how quickly the results happen. But what you can control are the actions that drive you towards that. So showing up to your workouts, especially on the days that you don't want to do them, eating the foods that you know is the right decision over the one that perhaps you shouldn't have when you're working towards the goals. Controlling your protein intake. You know you've got a protein goal, you understand the importance of how protein is going to help you on the journey. Stick to it. Be consistent with it. Doing your daily movement, whether that's your walk, whether that's little bursts of exercise, whether that's your workouts, like getting those in consistently and focusing on your sleep. But you can control your sleep. Yeah, we can't always control the amount of hours that we can sleep for, but we can control the quality of our sleep. So taking actions where we can to improve the quality is so important. So focusing on the day, winning the day, and then the results will take care of themselves. Because if you are actively focusing on making each day better and as good as you can, and you've got the guidance of where you need to go, you've got the guidance of what you need to be doing, then the results will come. So sometimes people are waiting for motivation. I hear this so many times. Oh, I'm not feeling motivated. Motivation is a mood. It's going to come and it's going to go. You're not always going to feel motivated. Like you're not always going to feel happy. You're not always going to feel like energized. Like you're not always going to feel motivated. But what does help with motivation is action. You being motivated isn't going to necessarily create the action. However, the action will make you motivated. So if you start by taking action, whether or not you're motivated, whether that's like you not wanting to start to work out and then you go and you're making yourself do it for 5, 10 minutes, and then after that, it's going to give you the momentum to move and you're going to want to keep doing it. But you taking action is going to build your confidence. You building your confidence, it's going to help you with your momentum. It's going to make you want to keep going. And ultimately, the more you keep going, the more you keep moving, the more your habits are improving, the more motivation you're going to have because you're going to feel good and going to want to keep going. So stop waiting on motivation because it's mood, it's going to come and go. Take action because action will create motivation. So the next 7 days, we do this on a Monday, and I think this is a really important thing to do. So what 3 actions will you commit to this week? Like, what are your 3 goals that you're going to do this week that are going to drive you towards that 90-day goal, which is going to drive you towards that 6-month goal, which is going to drive you towards that 12-month goal? So giving yourself those 3 goals, for example, like completing just 3 workouts, hitting 9,000 steps a day, eating 120 grams of protein, or not eating sugary treats in the evening. Like you set yourself those 3 goals, put them somewhere on your fridge door, on your cupboard door, on your laptop screen, wherever you can see it, that's going to keep reminding you these are the things you need to do, because it's the small actions that are repeated that are going to build consistency, and that's what's going to get you the results. One thing I want to point out as well is how weekly check-ins fit in with this. So weekly check-ins are so important to this process because they force you to reflect on your week. Like, did you do the things that you needed to do? They set you as a reminder, like they remind you to think about these things and it re-engages your brain into your focus. So, do your numbers reflect where you want to get to? Is your focus where it needs to be? Like, what are you currently getting? Where can you currently improve? And what actions do you feel you need to improve upon and take forward for the following week? So, your weekly check-ins enable you to focus on the week that you've had, review the week you've had, and realign your focus for the following week. So, they're really important and really good for kind of drawing that information together. So you don't need to know exactly how the year unfolds. None of us do. There's always obstacles. There's always things that we're going to have to jump over. But what you do need is you just need a vision of where you're going. It's like having a goal of where you're going to get to. You're not just going to go out in a car and drive around and around and around. I mean, unless you've got a child that you need to get to sleep, maybe you might. But ultimately, you get in a car because you want to drive to a destination. And it's the same thing with your fitness. You want a goal of where you need to get to. So set yourself your goal and then set yourself your 66 months and your 90-day goal and take action because your motivation is going to come from your action. And the more you keep working towards it, the more action you take, the momentum you'll build and the more motivation you'll build, and you will get your results. So your homework is to spend 10, 15 minutes reflecting, really thinking about where you want to get to. So I'm completing the statements in this. Feel free to run through again, pause it as and when you need, and then writing down your 12-month goal for 12 months from now, I want to. In 6 months, I want to. And in the next 90 days, I will. And this week, I will. So do that. Spend a good 10, 15 minutes doing it, really focusing, really engaging, and stick it on and stick the answers somewhere where you can see them so you can really, really be in tune with where you want to get to, because that will really help you drive results. As always, if you ever have any questions, if you need any help with any of this, you know where I am. I'm always here to help. And yeah, if you need anything, just give me a shout. So thank you.